Hello, friends.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm really excited. I'm pumped up today.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know why. I got really excited all of a sudden. Just going in for it. Just winging it today.
That is what we do best.
I love that. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. How are you doing today, Brandon? What's new?
I'm doing pretty good. Today was a stressful day. Had some meetings, had some computer work I had to do, and I accomplished very little of what I really wish I would have done. But
yeah, I did my taxes today. How fun. It was actually my first time doing it on my own. My mom was like, let me know if you need help. And I was
you're
like,
I'm so nervous to do my own taxes, but you do corporations taxes. And you're like, whatever.
Yeah, I do the quarterly and annual taxes, which if you ever need me to do that for Monster Planko, hit me up.
I've got, a week left to do it? Or I can file for an extension.
Yeah. Taxes suck. I don't like it. But I don't really have much going on paper yet because I don't get paid enough to record a lot of things, so it's pretty simple on my end. It's pretty nice. But I'm in the position where I still get a return. I feel like someday I'm gonna owe someday. And I'm not looking forward to that.
Well, this is the first year I ever owed. Not that I'm owed net total, but I owed.
Kind of canceling it
federal.
out. Yeah, not fun. Anyways, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about how plants are different in their native environment as compared to your house.
Plants in the wild. In the wild.
In the jungle.
Should we actually, we don't have this written down on our agenda, but should we first talk about plants that we see around Minnesota and just the Midwest in general? Nothing super fun, at least to us.
We've got maple trees.
To me, I just think of a lot of pine trees. There's a lot of spruces and pine trees. I grew up on like a cul-de-sac that had a lot of Norway pines, which I think is our state tree. I'm pretty sure it's our state tree.
I don't know.
There's this guy on TikTok who's doing like a map of all the state trees, and he uses like the wood from that state tree and like carves it, and he's making like the map. I don't know. I see a lot of cool things on TikTok. Lately, it's just been drama all over TikTok. TikTok is usually a peaceful place for me.
Yeah, the drama has hit mine too, and I didn't know what you were talking about at first, but then you said it, and I was like, oh yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say, I guess. That's all I need to say. But yeah, nothing super exciting up here. Everyone has like hostas in their yard. I like when people have like ferns in their yard, little things like that. That brings me joy.
I do like when a big patio has like a giant Boston fern hanging from it, but obviously that's not like growing out of the ground usually.
I like when people have a lot of flowers though. Like I'm not a big flower person like myself, but when I drive by people's gardens and there's like, I don't know, poppies. I don't know what it is that people have like later in the year. Tulips. Those usually come pretty early.
I don't know.
But yeah. It brings me joy, but we don't have a whole lot of it. We're up here. It's not tropical, so
we got lilacs. Lilacs are fun. Remember when we saw the lilac trees at the Arb
last year? We went to the Arboretum. We need to go again. We need to go, but like after when more things are in bloom. We went a little early. I don't remember when we went, but we got to go back. But we have written down what are the difference between plant care with these house plants outside versus inside. I guess I don't really know if I can speak to that because I haven't taken care of these plants in the wild, but it kind of scares me because I see people posting like things that got lost to the elements or squirrels are messing with them, all the things we talked about, and moving your plants outside. You deal with that year round.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm probably, having had plants outside for one summer, I'm probably not the best to speak on that. Maybe we should talk to like Jax and see what she does, because she seems to have a much better handle on that with her tropical Florida yard.
We are hoping, we literally just today started talking about maybe going down to Florida for the International Aroid Show sale and whatnot, and taking a little like road trip there.
Beep, beep.
It'd be cool to actually talk to people down there and talk to the people who have their big nurseries and big plant shops, people who are shipping out like a truck full of plants every week. Or every day. I don't know. Some of them.
So if you have any plugs in anywhere between Minnesota and Florida,
any
let us know.
suggestions? Yeah, I think the cities I'd written down were St. Louis, Nashville, Atlanta, Orlando. Then we'll be going down to like the Miami area.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be really fun. We'd love to do like podcasting on the road, take you with us. That would be super fun. But seeing a lot of plants down there, which I was bamboozled. I thought that a lot of plants that we grew were actually native to the U.S., but they really aren't. Any of them that I see down there are usually just planted and they're like surviving, but they're not from here. So we do have written down a lot of the common plants or common, I guess, genera, species, whatever, and where they're from. Because I think that's important to know. I don't know. I think about it sometimes, but
it kind of is crazy that we have little pieces of all over the world in our house.
Yeah, and we're like trying to keep it alive in our little like cold houses. No wonder it's kind of tough, you guys. You have to give yourself a little credit. It's hard.
We're taking care of exotic little babies.
Mm-hmm. Exotic plants. It really is. It's exotic plants. All right. First up, Epipremnum, commonly known as the pothos. Mm-hmm. Where are they from, Brandon? Where do you find this plant?
Okay, you guys, you think about it for 3 seconds and then say your guess, and then we'll let you know.
We're turning this into a game.
How did they do it on Dora the Explorer?
No, we don't have.
Where do you think the Epipremnum is from?
Oh, we don't have like the do sound. That would be a good one to have.
Well, maybe next time. Anyway, they are from China, the Himalayas, down to Southeast Asia.
I was actually surprised by that. I don't know. I guess I don't think about what's there. And like what would be growing over there and up in the mountains.
Rice. I don't know. That's the only thing I know that's
rice
native to that area. Other than that.
I guess they're climbing plants still, so they do look a hell of a lot different than when we have them and when they're growing in our little hanging baskets.
Well, people think they're monsteras when they see a picture of a mature one.
That is a Epipremnum. That's about those. No, not quite. That's not a monstera. Yeah, I like those guys. But here's the thing: if you see those like Hawaiian pothos online, those cuttings, don't buy them. If you get them shipped up too, honestly, guys, they're just going to start growing little leaves. Like, it's just not worth it. People are paying like $50 for like cuttings of them, these big leaves.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not sustainable. You're not going to.
There was a little bit of drama in the local Facebook group.
I did see that today, actually.
You saw it today?
I didn't read through the whole original post. That was very long.
Where did she bring them back from? Was it Costa Rica?
I have no clue.
Puerto Rico or something? She brought a bunch of plants back or a bunch of pothos cuttings back, and then she's like, I'm going to sell them now. I think she'd originally posted and been
we saw a different post then.
What did you see?
I saw one from a man.
Oh no, I think it was a girl that I saw.
Yeah, no, and he was like talking about how they are different things, and he wrote like a literal 4-page paragraph.
Oh, he was going off. No, this is like someone who's actually selling them, and I think I remember she had posted like, hey, I'm thinking of bringing these back on the airplane. What do we think about this? And there was a controversy. There was a lot of fighting in the comments. People are like, yeah, good luck getting that through customs. Like, sure, they're going to let you bring it back. Like, maybe you'll get on the airplane, but once you land in the U.S., they're taking that. Like, no.
Burning it.
And I think she got through with them and was selling them. She's like, hey, I'm going to sell them now. Anyone want them? $60 a cutting. I don't remember how much they were, but then I saw it posted in that like our Arid People Okay group. It was spread around. So I guess don't be buying those like wild cuts. It's just not going to transfer to your place well. It's a little better when you get it from a nursery and it has been like growing, somewhere else, and it's getting ready to be go into a plant shop and be sold to you. Cut right from the tree outside, probably not gonna do well.
And also it's used to living in a perfect conditions. And then you're like, come into my drafty cold house, enjoy.
All right, next up, we are talking about the Monstera. I think specifically we're probably talking Monstera deliciosa, but I guess you'd probably find all types of Monstera. Think about it for a second, you guys. Where are we finding Monstera? We kind of already hinted, I think, earlier that a lot of these are not native to the U.S., so these are probably elsewhere.
Well, this one's pretty close.
Pretty close.
Well, actually, now that you think about it, you should have a hint right in the name.
Oh, yeah. Duh. So, if you didn't know, monsteras are native to southern Mexico.
Deliciosa.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of people have them.
Dora the Explorer.
A lot of people have them in their yards, I think, in like Southern California, if you're fancy. Sometimes on the side of the road, people be cutting them down. And those are, we're going to be kind of talking about this a little bit, but those are invasive if they are planted in the U.S.
Where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, probably not going to do well. Same thing with ibuprofen when they're like all over those trees in Florida. Yeah, they don't really mind if you cut them down. Like, sure, they're not going to acclimate well to your house, but I think technically, if it's like public, you probably can cut them down. It's not that big of a deal, I've heard.
Well, because even the trees can get strangled out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they suffocate the tree that they're on.
Block all the light.
Not good. They don't like it. Anyways, Monstera, southern Mexico. The more you know. So next up, your favorite.
Anthuriums.
Yeah, your favorite. Yours and mine. Think about it for a little bit. Anthurium. I didn't know too much about these until recently. What do you think, Brandon?
We're a little south of the border. They're from Colombia and Ecuador originally.
Colombia and Ecuador. I think that some of them are also in Asia, but I don't know if those are just now because they're planted there and growing there. But because a lot of these plants are getting from like those sellers in Thailand and Indonesia, so they're getting them.
Well, okay, so obviously you probably get you get a lot of messages. I get a lot of messages from them, and I will say they do have more like philodendrons from those nurseries than anthuriums. They're getting more anthuriums, but
lots of random no ID philodendron, which apparently Brandon just recently learned no ID. When you see no ID on the Facebooks and people are posting about no ID plants.
Well, I thought it said noid because there's not a space. Why didn't you just put a space? It's one extra character.
No ID. No.
And some people would put no ID. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, that's a no ID, but what's a noid?
A special node?
I don't know.
Did you think you were like, noid? Like some type of AFF?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
Well, now you know. So, philodendrons all over the place, pretty much, like we just said. But think about it. Where are they coming from? Where are they native to? Where are they growing? I did it. I should have done the rim shot. You're over there on the soundboard, Brandon. Oh, my God. There goes all of the ice. Good thing that was empty.
Hear that? Little clinkies.
A little messy today. He's picking up his ice cubes.
We're just constantly struggling over here.
I know. Right before this, he was sorting his laundry and had
yep,
found
my chapstick got pink
one
all over my clothes, and I hopefully didn't ruin $300 of clothes, but that seems to be what probably happened.
Yeah, your chapstick got all over the place. Big bummer. Laundry sucks, especially when it goes wrong.
Amen.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, philodendron. Did we say that?
No, I don't think we got that far.
We did.
They come from Antarctica where all the ice is, obviously.
They are from Colombia, Venezuela, and parts of Asia nowadays, like we just talked about. Thematophyllums specifically are in South America. I don't think I finished that one, but they're all over the place, too. The Metaphyllum is the one that you guys still probably know them as philodendrons just because it's easier to say. But
I don't think before like that became like widespread knowledge, I was like, they don't look like philodendrons in my opinion.
Because they grow from like the center. They're not really getting tall. They're not crawling. They're just kind of growing.
They give me anxiety.
I don't like them.
They can get 30 feet tall.
Oh my God, ew. Some plants just get way too big, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? I was literally just thinking the other day, I'm like, what am I going to do with some of these things that are just simply going to outgrow my house? Like, I'm just going to have to keep cutting it down. Like, what are we going to do with some of these things? You're looking at your big monstera in the corner. I was literally like, maybe I'm going to get Brandon to cut that for me today. I brought Brandon a bunch of cuttings today because we just love trading. So we like sharing the love. And I was just in a choppy mood today.
Yeah, basically, my plants are your plants are my plants. That's pretty much how it is at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So whenever Brandon gets something or whenever I get something, like eventually you'll probably have it at some point. Okie dokie. And then I had made you look up, or you already knew this, bird of paradise, which we often see around planted down there in like Florida and stuff. We talked about the traveler's palm recently.
Beautiful.
We learned
palm.
that.
Where's that from?
The traveler's palm?
Yeah.
I don't know. Look it up.
Okay. Well, you divulged the bird of paradise. I will look up the traveler's palm.
Bird of paradise is native to South Africa. Who would have known? Did you guys know?
I apparently knew.
Brandon knew. I asked him, and he's like, South Africa? He's like, Africa, I think. And I'm like, oh, okay. South Africa, beautiful, tropical.
Oh, the traveler's palm. Actually, I think we did talk about this. It's from Madagascar.
Oh. We looked that up?
I don't know. I feel like we did.
I forget.
Or maybe we looked up what it was, and it like happened to say.
Yeah. Most of our conversations don't get stored in my head. It just is in one ear, out the other, kind of.
Yeah, they are pretty crazy. Like, look at this picture.
Yeah, they get huge. They get super big.
Good grief.
Good grief. All right, so back to the U.S. What plants are native to the U.S.? The house plants that we're keeping. What can we find around our neck of the woods?
Well, I have one of these. Well, I guess I have some of them, but really I only have one of them that's a specific one, is the Sarracenia, which is widespread across North America.
Yeah, I can find them all over the place. I think there's also Drosera all over here too, perhaps.
Oh my God, I forgot there's also Echeveria that are native to North America too.
We do have a bunch of ferns that are native to, I think, even Minnesota, perhaps. But the U.S., we can find parlor palm and Boston ferns and maidenhair ferns. So fun. Parlor palm I had for a little bit, but my cat, even though I think they're pet safe, my cat wouldn't stop eating it. Are they pet safe? I think they are.
I think so, yeah.
It's just too grassy.
Yeah, it's because majestic palms are not pet safe.
Yeah, not the big one.
Or majesty palms.
I had the little parlor palm.
Because then there's a cat palm, and they had some cat palms at Curtains, and I was going to get one because they're just so beautiful, and I knew Clifford would love it.
I finally have my cat grass growing. Did I talk about that?
I don't think on the podcast.
I don't know if you guys, if you have a kitty, if you've ever bought the cat grass that they sell at like PetSmart or whatever. Sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh, this is so tempting, but it dies for me like in a week. Like she eats it, but then no matter how much I water it, it seems to dry up. Well, I started I watered a little bit more often and I noticed like more sprouts were coming up. I'm like, okay. So I gave it a little dish, put in a little like ramekin thing, and I let it like soak in the water, and I'm finally getting growth on it, and it's like back to life. And finally she can like
back
eat.
to life.
She made a really great comeback. I'm really proud, and now my cat like eats it every day.
Oh.
So yeah, if you ever have tried to grow the cat grass, just keep it a little dish. You don't need to like keep it in water all the time, but just make sure every once in a while it is like sitting in some water that it can soak up.
That's what I had to do with the rabbit's foot fern. Had to let it sit for a while. Yeah. I mean, it would soak that water up within like 6 hours. So
what I like about rabbit's foot fern though is they can dry out quite a bit. Like they're more tolerant of it than other ferns. Like they won't crisp up as fast when they're dry, which I like.
Oh yeah, and like get everywhere. Oh, Boston fern when they crisp, and then you're like they're all over the ground.
It's a mess. It's a mess every single time. I think I've had 2, and yeah, if you don't stay on top of watering that thing, it gets ugly real fast. Not good. We also have Dieffenbachia on here, native to the U.S.
Which actually, now that you think about that, does make sense, knowing its horrible name history.
Oh yeah, I guess that does make sense. And then Syngonium, which I think are they invasive too? I think they're kind of big climbers all the way up.
I would have to assume. Let's see, because they grow and they grow and they grow and they don't stop.
Yeah, it's important to know. It's just certain things like you could plant outside, but like should you? Maybe not.
Oh, yep. They are wildland weeds.
Not good.
They're part of the Global Invasive Species Database.
We're learning today.
Oh, but apparently there's the arrowhead vine and the Sigonium podophyllum are two separately invasive species.
Mm.
And they basically climb up to the top of the trees. Oh, they're heavier than most native vines, so they break trees top heavy and more susceptible to toppling in the wind.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting.
So don't let those things get too climby.
Oh, and then they can also they can cover the ground and make it impenetrable for other plants to come through.
Yeah, because they can crawl as well.
Oh, my goodness.
Where, like, gloriosums found? I guess we've already talked about philodendrons specifically, but I think about those guys because they're crawlers. Eventually, I think I heard that they can climb up a tree if they run into one eventually, but they are the natural crawler.
Well, like, think about the ones that are at, like, the Garfield Conservatory and how much ground they cover and how densely packed they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, should we talk about that trip, Brandon?
Absolutely.
Speaking of native plants and looking at native plants, you know more about this than I do, but tell our listeners what's the sitch.
Okay, you guys. So have you ever wanted to go hang out in a tropical environment and look at plants in their native habitat? Well, guess what? You might be able to with me and Nicole.
That's kind of scary.
So basically, we're going to put out a feeler. So I'll link the link in this bio of this episode because it comes out the day this episode airs. So if you are interested in potentially going on a trip with us and checking out either, well, we haven't picked a location yet, but like somewhere tropical, like Costa Rica, or I don't know, maybe somewhere else. I don't really know yet. Well, we have to figure that out still. But
yeah, we haven't put much thought into it, but we need to just hear, I guess, if people are even interested in that.
So yeah, basically, if you are interested in hanging out with us, doing planty things, checking out plants in their native environments, check out the link in this podcast description. If you follow me on social media, I'm sure I will be posting it, so you can check it out there too. But it sounds like it'll be a ton of fun. Basically, like, the trip will be fully planned. We'll have tons of activities. We'll film a podcast on the road, do all sorts of fun stuff, and you just get to come along and hang out with us for like 6 days or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe are we going to be checking out botanical gardens, perhaps? Just seeing plants and what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we're going to be going anywhere that has plant shops, perhaps. I mean,
I would certainly
it'd
hope
be
so.
really cool if we went somewhere where there's like a wholesaler or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
I'm up for anything.
Maybe we could go to Equigenera since they love having the U.S. people come and promote their
What if we
take
went
pictures.
if we went to Ecuador? Wow. You guys want to go to Ecuador? I haven't been into any. I've been, I guess, over to Europe. I've been up to Canada, but I have not been down there at all.
Oh, so you got your passport. You're fancy, huh?
It might be expired by now. I got it a while ago. I was traveling like when I was in high school. I peaked back then. I haven't done a lot of traveling since.
Well, my passport is on its way.
Yay. Because you're going to, did you talk about this yet? You're going
No,
to
I'm going to
Paris.
Yeah, Paris and Versailles.
Very fun. What are you guys going there for?
We're going to Victorian Ball at the Palace of Versailles.
Fancy.
Me and my mom.
Is it just you and your mom that are going over?
Yeah. Well, she knows people who are going on it, but like we're the only people like traveling together.
That sounds like it's going to be a blast.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Have you been there before?
No, I don't have a passport.
Oh.
It's on its way. I walked into Mexico before you needed a passport to walk into Mexico. And I went to Jamaica when I was young enough where you didn't need a passport. But now you do need a passport at any age. So,
yeah, things change.
I should go look at the Jamaica pictures and see like what the plants are in the background.
Today's going to be a short episode, I'm just realizing. It's just short and sweet, you guys. We don't want to bore you too much.
Just like the old days.
Yeah, just like the old days. I have written down here because I want to make this happen. I don't know if Sam's listening. Hi, Sam, if you're listening. Samantha. I'm helping you make this happen. Brandon, tell people what's going on.
So we are hoping to put together a little local event, a little Planty Spring Fling where you can fling your trades around. And Nicole thought that was truly hilarious.
You can't say stuff like fling your things around while I'm taking a sip of something.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be putting on a little trade event sponsored by Monstera Plant Co. And we'll have, we'll see. We want like vendors and fun stuff.
Plant selling. If you're a local plant seller, inquire within.
Bring your little local crafts, little local makers.
We want makers and artisans. Was it you that had to tell me what that was?
Yes, I did have to tell you what that was.
Brandon has to correct my English all the time. It is my first language, just so you know. I am just dumb. But yeah, Spring Fling. I think it'll be super fun.
People if you're local to Minneapolis, keep an eye out. Follow the Monstera Plant Co. Instagram. Mm-hmm. If you have any ideas for venues, we are not sure how we want to go about that, but we'll see. We're thinking, depends, I guess, on the scale.
Mm-hmm. Probably late April, early May, in the May time. I don't know, sometime like that.
In the May.
Just to get excited about spring, but before summer.
Yeah, summer's too hot.
Summer's too hot. Yeah, it is like kind of miserable standing out there and those events sometimes. Mm-hmm. Oh, and when your tent was flying away.
When it flew up the wall of the building.
Oh, it was just you over there, right? Well, that was so funny. Brandon was standing there, and I thought you guys had it weighed down pretty good, but apparently the wind was too much.
Just whoop.
I was across the parking lot, and all of a sudden I look over, and like Brandon's tent is like levitating. And he's like, "Oh my God!" Like his arms are in the air. Oh, that was funny.
And all these people rush over to try to help me. God, it's so embarrassing.
How many plants were like tipping over all day?
Oh, so many. Just dirt everywhere.
So yeah, dirt all over the place.
And then they like dried out halfway through the day because it was like 95 degrees.
Oh yeah, you had to water everything.
And the tablecloth got all wet, and then there was just like mud flying everywhere. Oof.
Oh, so don't you want to do that again?
Yes,
that sounds
absolutely.
So
It
fun.
was fun.
I love it though. We need to get someone to, like ice cream or some food. We need snacks are always a good thing.
Oh yeah.
You need to get one of the like people who bakes cookies. You know, there's always like baker people. We have a lot of local bakers. Anyways, we should wrap this thing up. People are probably sick of listening to us.
Yeah, they're probably like, what are they talking about?
I don't know. We're just trying to catch up, you guys. We're trying to be chill, trying to be like an actual podcast and just like talk like normal people.
Yeah, I feel like we've been recording a lot of guest episodes, which are very structured.
Yeah, they are structured. We're trying to be chill and casual.
Yeah, thank you for giving us a break and letting us be ourselves. Well, I mean, not that we're not ourselves with these guests, but there's a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, we do need to put up like a poll thing. Like, do you guys like the guests or do you just want to hear us? Do you not give a crap? I like our guests.
And I think as long as we do a just us, then a guest, just us, then a guest. Yeah. I think that's a good cadence.
Yeah. Let us know, you guys. More or less, whatever. We'll put a poll up someday on the stories. So make sure you're following our Instagram.
The guests do keep us a little bit more accountable.
Yeah, they make us sit down and record. It's better. It does keep us on track. We appreciate you guys. Anyways, Brandon, let's just wrap this thing up. Where can people find you?
You can find me on the Instagram, the TikTok, and the YouTube at Brandon Botanical. You also can find my Amazon storefront at Brandon Botanical too. So Amazon.com/shop/Brandon Botanical.
I should have showed up looking decent because we could have done a little like YouTube video of our trade or something.
Oh, that would have been cute.
Yeah. You never know.
And I look really good today, and I wasted it on just a meeting.
You're like important meeting. You have to look super nice.
I did this makeup for a Zoom meeting.
I washed my hair for you, even though we are not seeing anybody today. My hair is just like, I didn't remember. I was like, when's the last time I washed it? I don't know. It's not good when I can't remember.
Well, I have to wash my hair every day, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, you can also find my plant shop, monsteraplant.co, on Instagram and the website.
Buy the plants. It's more warm now, so you can ship plants out. So go check out the website.
We've got a decent amount on the site, and we've got a lot more coming. So.
Oh, yeah, more coming. Lots of hopefully exciting things coming later.
And sign up for our mailing list on the website to learn more about the spring fling. Just fling your plants around.
Oh, my God.
And I think that's it for me. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Tickety Talk at Nicole Larson Grows. You know, I'm just doing my thing. You know, if you want to follow, you can.
If not, that's okay.
I think that more people are finding us through our podcast. I always think that people know us already. I don't know.
Well, we've been getting some good downloads, so hopefully we're meeting new people. If you're new to the podcast, give us a 5-star review.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have any to read because all the ones to be read are being read on guest episodes. So we don't have any new ones to read. So come on, people. We need more 5-star reviews. Write them, make them funny, make them cute, make them scary. Tell us a scary plant story on your review.
Yeah. Tell us something. Make us laugh. I don't know. Make us feel something.
Make us feel alive.
All right, you guys. Well, I hope that you have a good, fabulous week. I feel like our outro music is coming in.
Oh, my gosh. It definitely is. Oh, there it is. That was pretty quick. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this extra short, extra special episode.
Everything's special to us.
Oh, because we are special.
Having our Moscow mules. If I have another, I don't know how it's going to be. I feel like I can barely keep my eyes open right now.
Oh, well, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a fabulous week, you beautiful, beautiful beach.
Bye.